Hello, Team ABsolution fans, and welcome back to Cardfight Cash. It is Standard Week Part 2, because Premium is uninteresting. I'm the Doombringer Griffin.
And how's it going? It's the Irish God here.
And let's play some Standard. Nats are right around the corner, and that means big event to look out for trades if you happen to be going to New Jersey for that. But if you don't want to fly Spirit Airlines, there are still some BCSs happening, although I believe Houston the last one?
Houston was the last one. There's obviously a couple, I think, ones in Europe still going on, but that's not really relevant to us.
If you're listening in Europe, hi, how are you? Don't you have other people to listen to? Because I know YouTube algorithms aren't that strong to bring us over there. Let's talk about some cards. And as I said, this is Standard Week Part 2. Next week might also be a standard week because Premium is just not happening until this Friday. Actually, we have the Premium collection coming out, so we'll cover that next week at the very least. But let's get into what's going on in Standard because it was a pretty crazy week, all things considered. And just starting out, we have the Royal Paladin Draw PG up to $13.
Wow.
People are anticipating this hard. Because you know what? We're not seeing any new Draw PG reprints, are we, Keith?
No, there does not seem to be anything. We had the couple, the full art reprints. Like, we saw Cosmo Wreath and we saw MacLear.
That doesn't really count.
Yeah, that's right. And that's only for 2 clans, technically. So
that's like back in GR when you had the SP packs and you're like, oh boy, my card got reprinted. It's $70. Congratulations.
Yeah, thanks, reprint. And I thought what was really interesting about this, Ryan, was that this increase we saw even before we got the Gancelot reveal. So the fact that it went up, people were already jumping on Royals.
Sounds perpetuated to me.
That's right.
I mean, granted, if there's... Getting Royal value cards is almost never a bad idea.
No.
Except in G-Era, when it was a bad idea.
Yeah, that's right.
Even then, sometimes, it was not a bad idea.
I think as long as you had the Sankguard train rolling, when it was just at mile, maybe not so much.
She picked up some value Gancelots or the Outmile from GBT04, I believe. The one that was really expensive.
Aerial Divine Knight.
Yeah, that's him. Yeah, those were pretty good. But nostalgia aside, let's talk about some more cards. Twin Blade are actually seeing a bit of a dip now that people have collected their Twin Bladers and they've been bifurcated into people who bought Azure Dragon early and decided to abandon the clan when Azure Dragon went up to $40.
Yeah, that was a hell of an increase.
$37.50 to be exact, but ouch.
Yeah.
This is Nova Grapplers. You used to be able to pick up that whole deck for $25.
I mean, it happens when you actually finally start seeing results, I think, for the first time in its history for Standard. They've finally been putting up numbers. Illuminal Dragon, I think, from EB07 really puts that deck on the map, and then very shortly will get killed straight after it again, because I think EB08 is a good bit better than it, but oh well.
That's the way the cookie crumbles. I guess wait if you want to play Nova Grapplers, and you haven't invested already, but if you did invest... I think you should sell, honestly. But we'll get to Azure Dragon later. Miss Mist is up to $8.50, bit of an increase from her $6.50 pedestal last week. Bari is at $8, Silent Tom remains at $5, and Riser Custom actually climbing up to $5 solid.
Well, that's actually, that's pretty good because it's a double R, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah.
It's joining the $5 double R club.
All right. Solid value right there.
The non-PG $5 double R club.
Yeah.
Only for the best of taste. But speaking of someone who has not quite made it there, let's talk about MacLear from VBTO2. $271, Shadow Support's coming. Buy now.
Yeah. If there was ever
Add to cart.
Yeah, if there was ever one to take a move on, the fact that this one is still $271 when the Royals one is $13, and Shadows, I don't think it's quite as popular as Royals, but it has a very dedicated and very large player base.
I just think you're lying to me saying that Shadows isn't more popular than Royals.
Yeah.
Shadows is the most popular clan in the world. I'm pretty sure.
Well, people do like their edgy paladins.
Everyone sits on a Shadow Paladin deck in the back. Like, everybody wants one. Everybody has one.
Yeah, that's right. Just thinking about that, Ryan, I think it's super interesting because we've even seen rises in stuff like the Mega Colony PG, and the Spike Brothers PG right now is more expensive than MacLear, the PG for Shadow Paladins. Why do you think that's the case?
I mean, I will say that MacLear has the Judge PG, and so the high rarity people want to go for those,
True.
But there aren't that many of those made.
Right.
There's one per Judge per BCS.
Yeah.
That's not that many copies in existence. So the high rarity people, they're not taking up too much of the market here. I really don't know why this hasn't been hit or why it hasn't been jumped on yet. And as you said, Royals was bought up before Gancelot's reveal, before we saw the countercharger, before the Royals assembled the Infinity Gauntlet. Yeah, I have everything I want. And yet, we're seeing like the trickle of spoilers for Shadow. We're seeing like it's Illusionary Revenger. We're going to get Revengers again. And you're like, that wasn't enough to buy this card out. I have no idea what's going on.
Yeah, I've got a big question mark on my head for why this card hasn't gotten bought out yet and isn't sitting at like $6, $8, $10 maybe even. So I think this is a great target if you want to either move in to buy just for yourself if you want to play Shadows, or are looking to invest in something.
Add to cart.
Yeah.
VBTO3. Actually, some movement here since this contains so many of the clans come out in VBTO5. The Detonix Drill SVR has had a tiny increase to 3150. His regular version now climbs up to 24 from about 21, 22. So he's just inching up as people kind of hesitantly look at if Gauntlet Buster is going to synergize. It probably will. Detonix Drill is an awesome card.
Yeah.
How are you going to get rid of that? Then again, they did get rid of Waterfall, so
that's true.
Possible. The Monarch Sanctuary Alfred SVR, $30, and the regular version, $24.
Wow.
Now, I did see the Monarch Sanctuary was up there. I'm surprised the SVR is at $30. That seems a little low for that guy.
Yeah, that seems, because that's really not much of a difference between the high rarity and the low rarity at that point, and I'd be surprised if people don't move in on that a little bit more, because especially since it's a pretty nice art. It's not like, some of the SVRs can be kind of ugly, but I think everyone wants their nice gold plus gold foiling on top of that nice gold background.
Oh yes, that is super nice. He is 33 now, but that still is not a stark increase. A difference of $10.
No, that's not a huge margin between the two.
Might as well just go in and get the value increase later if Alfred ever comes back. Magatsu Gale holding strong at 10. He's kind of the card we're all looking at for this. As, Magatsu Storm might get thrown for a loop. We do know that Nubatama does want to specialize in discard now, so Kujikiri Kongo is now the card that you'll about to see get bought up. You won't be able to buy it in time to see this show, but if you happen to just get my energy while I'm speaking these words, buy the ORs, I guess.
Yeah.
Enjoy your. Detonix Stinger, now up to $10, so that is a card that people see as a solid supporter, I will say. Plus, he was cheap in the first place.
Yeah, I think that was an easy buy, and he's a great support grade 3, as you said. I'd be hesitant to move into them, especially at this price now, like $10. I have a feeling he could very easily get dropped.
Just go pull some.
Yeah, that's right.
Buy some packs. I'll rarely say that, but...
Yeah, I mean, there's also just a lot of value in this set right now. So if you have a box of Miyagi Academy sitting around at your locals...
Pop it.
Yeah, take a couple packs out of there if you want to. You won't be too disappointed, I hope.
And you might get the Lozenge Magus, which isn't too shabby either.
Yeah, that's very true.
And more Narukami news. The Wyvern Guard Gold PG has been bought out. I believe it's sitting around $750 right about now.
Yep, that sounds about right.
Looks at Mac Lear hesitantly.
Yeah.
When's it going to happen to you, Mac Lear? A Rising Phoenix at $6.
Yeah.
$6 dues.
Yeah, for our nice... Speaking of the $5 Double Art Club, this one is trying to take the lead, I think, in regards to that. I mean, Rising Phoenix is an absolutely amazing card, and that now would be something that would be very unlikely to get pushed out by BTO5.
Oh yeah, and we just saw Caster in the other spoiler, who discards cards to banish things, so it's just like, oh, well look, I have these two cards. I wonder if I can use them together.
Yeah.
If only I had 200 IQ to make this play.
That's right, brain's just pulsating with the amount of energy needed to do this.
So, Narukami is now money if you have it. Good for you. VBTO4, Gust Blaster Dragon, $20. That's not surprising at all. I think he's just holding steady.
Yeah, I think that's a slight increase because we're about, 17, 18? Yeah. So he's just like trending slightly upwards.
People buying up bosses at very minimum quantities, sounds like to me, or people just pushing this limit up on TCG.
Yeah, I think this one is probably something you are very unlikely to play in BTO6, though, because the fact that Gust Blaster requires a blaster name, and Mordred has already shown to not have any sort of blaster in his name, makes him, I think, a low candidate to be played in the deck. But we'll see how it goes from here.
That's true. However, if they really wanted to make it happen, they could just say, this on a Mordred Phantom and Sharpie, this card is a blaster.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Like, what was the point?
The R's backwards written.
Why didn't you just put it on the card? Anything could happen, but I think Gust Blaster is probably going to go down. I'd sell now if possible. As he seems to be the guy that people look at. I mean, he'll be like a 2 of, but that's still 2 Gust Blasters that now everybody playing Shadows needs to get rid of. So supply goes up, demand goes down. You're a sad boy. Sell now. Speaking of selling now, Flowers and Vacuum Cosmo Wreaths, $15.
Yep. Man's looking good.
I think this is the most expensive PG.
Yeah, I think you are correct in that. Yeah, I think Cosmoreath is holding the title right now.
People are just grabbing these for Messiah, for Brant, and granted those two are back to back, so we're kind of seeing the Bari and Twin Blader effect, but still $15.
Yeah, I think, talking about another popular clan, Link Joker is definitely within, if not the top 3, the top 5 for sure.
Absolutely.
So this is, I think it's just another thing of popularity taking its effect. It's got double back-to-back support. I don't really think it's going to go any higher than this, though. Do you think we'll ever hit $20 for the Cosmoreath?
I don't think so. I mean, at some point, I will say that there aren't more being introduced into the pot, but I think that people, we should hit the cycle point here where people are now going to sell them. People are either going to buy at this price or they won't, and people are probably going to be doing more of the deck swapping at this point. I have 4 Cosmoreaths and these Deleters. I want to sell these Deleters, and someone sees the Cosmoreaths and think, oh, play Deleters, but I also want Messiahs. So I don't think there will be too many more sales happening on TCG, but I think they'll start to move around more. And then hopefully, with no more sales going on TCG, the price will slide back down to about 12. I think that's where it'll probably sit in Messiah era.
Yeah.
Moving into the EBs, Ravenous Dragon Megarex was $10 not a few days ago, but sadly has rolled down to $7. Tachikaze players, you're left waiting for more spoilers.
Yeah. It was still a little bit too early. I think that was the hype getting ahead of the actual reveals really in this case, because we have 2 more sets to get through before this actually happens.
Dear God, that's so long. That's such a long time.
And what's funny about that is it's really not that long when you consider about other card games, but since Bushiroad's release schedule is so damn fast and accelerated, it really is like an eternity pretty much to wait for reveals on Tachi stuff.
A Spike Bouncer has climbed up 75 cents to $7.75 as well. This is a surprise. Cheer Girl Marilyn has finally shown herself at $4. So Spikes, we're getting the Tachi effect now. They're climbing up. They're looking into it and what's going on up here.
Yeah, that's right. How's this high value thing going over here? Can we get in there?
Let me know if this is going well. So, yeah, I think this is probably about where things will sit, as they didn't jump up as much as something like Megarex did. But also Juggernaut Maximum is $7. So everything's looking like the hard to get cards are hard to get. People recognize that. People bring the price up, and they might move at this price. They might not. I haven't seen too many move here.
No, I don't think so. They're all, by default, these are probably, talking about, we were on one end of the most play clans. These are probably down near the bottom end of the least play clans. Like Mega Colony, I think, is, at least aside from Gridori era, is usually at, I want to say, the bottom or in the bottom 3 play clans.
Token Ranbu.
Yeah. And poor Token Ranbu.
Oof. But yeah, these cards, I mean, this will be a great deck. I'm sure of it in Standard, so people are excited. People are looking into this stuff. Trade them, sell them now, if you can. Or you can also wait. Both are totally fine. If you want to get out while the getting's good and pick up something new and shiny, go for it. But if you want to sit and wait and actually play the clan, I mean, you should already have the cards. You probably have the cards.
And I mean, Bushi is pretty much guaranteed that the power level for year 2 is going to be well up there. So you should be fairly safe to sit on your PGs, the valuable triple Rs, whatnot, if you really want to play those clans moving forward.
Oh, yes. Definitely. And finally, Machining Hornet still sitting at the $5 mark. Definitely the poster boy for $5 Double Arc Club. Not going anywhere.
Nope.
Paralyzed Madonna also $4. So the PGs for this set they're kicking ass. They're doing great. How's Archbird doing?
Yeah,
he's still cheap. He's not a bad pickup.
Kind of our one outstanding in this set.
He is a $250 right now, and actually below market price. That's not a bad pickup. I would say invest in Archbird if you're interested in making some touchy investments. Him and Sonic Noah. I definitely see Sonic Noah going up here in the near future. Considering he's the bread and butter of your current mechanic, they could always move away from it, but I kind of don't think they will.
No, that'd be very surprising to me, since he's probably one of the best enablers of the whole gauge mechanic.
Yes. So, with Sonic Noah still at 43 cents, grab some, why not? VEBO2, we're starting to see some mostly consistency, maybe a tiny bit of recovery. Blue Storm Dragon Maelstrom, $28.50. Paschal, $7. And Romario, $8. These are kind of the same prices they've been at, and VEBO 8 is coming. I think we won't see a lot of price die down here until maybe after the sets come out.
Yeah.
People really start wanting to get rid of these again. They don't like the deck, they'll toss it, but I don't think... These seem like pretty set prices to me. Don't expect these to move around.
No, I don't think so. At least not for the immediate future. I think the fact that Aquas are once again not really putting up much results will cause them to start trending down, because I think people had a lot of faith in that deck, and it's really not delivered, at least in the first weekend. We've seen results from Grand Blue, we've seen, I think, a top, maybe 2 tops from Deep Elise, but Aquaforce has left a lot to be desired. So I think those prices will eventually start to trickle down, but it might take a couple months.
Yeah, you're kind of stuck in this weird pattern where the results don't speak for themselves, but it's so popular.
Yeah,
There's so much hype around it. Hopefully the stupor wears off pretty quickly, and you can pick these up at lower prices if you still want to play Aquaforce. I wouldn't expect too much, though. Maybe $1 or $2 off, as people really want these cards to hold value. And the thing about Aquaforce players is if their cards aren't valuable now, they'll just hold on to them until they are.
Yeah.
VEBO3, Vivian still $9.50.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much the same as she's always been, isn't it? That's
Metron
not any sort of movement.
Is up to $5.50 though.
Oh, not bad.
So she's doing a little climbing up from 4 to 5, I believe. So people, they're looking at these clans. I think this is a normal amount of, I want to try something new, I'll pick this up, and that's enough to keep the value circulating.
Sure.
The cards, a lot of these cards are still holding their value, like Sylvia at 7. We don't even need to talk about the VRs anymore. Those are expensive.
Yeah.
Azels are what, 27?
Yeah, somewhere around there, usually.
It's ridiculous. So with that in mind, just know that if you can ever trade into VEBO3 stuff, that's probably a good idea. Probably wouldn't... if you want to play the clan later, buying into it as soon as possible is what I would say. But I would say just trade into it.
Yeah.
Take something new and shiny that you don't like. Say you pick up Grand Blue for cheap and you don't like it, swap it for... I would say golds or neonectars. Maybe not angels so much unless you really like the clan. I don't find them particularly riveting though. In VEBO4, it's all business as usual. Lost Legend OR $30, Lost Legend Triple R $15.
Yeah, I think we've been talking about this guy pretty consistently across the weeks. He's just always been in the $10+ range, and is unlikely to really go anywhere from here, I don't think.
No, he's definitely the crux of the deck, and whether or not you play the grade 4 options that are present now, you'll probably want to play Lost Legend throughout Gear Chronicle in the future, and it always has the potential to just bust everything wide open. Never a bad investment for trading, I would say. Not a particularly exciting buy.
No, at $15, he really doesn't have a whole lot of places to go.
No. We're starting to see some price trend down in VEBO5, but Bermuda players, don't despair. You know how this game works. Top Star Cheer is $15 or $14.77. Sonata is $14, and Caro is $13.30. So about $3 off on each of these. Cheer lost $1. And your cards are going to be huge next year. Just hold. Hold on Bermudas.
That's right. They're still putting up results, and it's been like...
They'll be putting up results for the next 4 or 5 months, probably.
Oh, yeah. This deck is just so damn powerful. Like, short of a restricted list hit, this is one of the easiest things you can invest in, even at the prices right now, because you will have a deck that is viable for at least until August of this year, you can say, which is, I think, when we get My Glorious Justice, and probably a little bit past that.
Yeah, it's still happening over there. And I think we're seeing a lot of price trend down because people just have so much stock, because you know how Bermuda sets work.
Oh, yeah.
People buy for the high rarity. They try and sell off the low rarity. A lot of people pick it up still, but a lot of people have like a high rarity deck and a low rarity deck, and so there's just so much supply out there, not enough demand immediately. We're now 1 set away from Bermuda, about to be 2 to 3 sets away from Bermuda. So this is about the price trough. You'll see they might go down a little bit more, but if you want to invest, I'd say invest now.
Yeah.
You're perfectly safe to do so. Your cards are going to be worth something in 10 months, I would say.
Yeah.
Less. Maybe 9, because we'll start to see spoilers again.
Oh, that's true, yeah. We'll start the new Bermuda season once more. Fish season will begin.
Yep, and these VRs could easily just be $20, $25. But there are a lot of them, so tread with care, but just buy it for the powerful deck. It's the B-Div. Buy the best deck in the format for the cheapest it's ever going to be.
Yeah.
VEBO6. Oh, how we wish we had invested harder in you.
Yeah, for real.
If you want your money back for all these things, Dragonic Overlord the Great, people have been having some fun with this guy. The SVR was listed at $1,000 yesterday.
Oh, man.
Originally, back when our list was made for us of prices here, It was 210. That was still ridiculous. People have been trading these or selling these at maybe like 75, 80, 90. 75 is really lucky. But this guy's just all over the map right now.
Yeah.
And if you're trying to high rarity Kagero, which I am no longer attempting to do apparently, just wait.
Yeah.
Eventually the Kagero hype will die as the results went up in smoke pretty immediately after VEB08 happened.
Yeah, it's been a little sad for Kagero. I think
my boy Dote.
We always thought Dote would do better after his first performance, being as good as it was.
They must have learned.
I think people are really just trying to test the waters with what they can get away with Daji right now, because there's like, anyone want to buy it for $200, $300, $250, and see if anyone's actually going to take it. But obviously that's just an absolutely insane, ridiculous price.
No one should pick up this card right now. You might not even want to pick up the VR unless you're playing in some competitive event very soon. I'd say focus on your other stuff because the VR is $40. Like that's just a solid $40 bill. There are no $40 bills, but if there were, .G would be one of them.
It's just a two-headed Andrew Jackson.
How could you get any more horrifying? Yeah. Oh, and Azure Dragon. I'm just gonna pull up his current prices because who knows what they are.
Yeah, this card has been moving all over the place, and usually it has been upwards.
Good God, y'all. The current low pricing for the SVR is 47, and did he go down to 30? That's interesting. The VR currently listed at $30, so this is a nice $10 drop over the past 2 or 3 days.
Wow.
That's very nice. That is extremely nice. The market price is even currently $30. The hype really wore off as people just tried to start selling their copies. It's full of 1s and 2s and a couple 4s in the quantities list on stores. This is not a bad time to get in, honestly. If you missed the boat has kind of circled around and come back for you. This might be the time. It's still a little expensive, I know. But if you want Novas for your competitive deck and you're just dead set on playing it in EBO7, do it now, for the love of God.
Yeah, it's not going to feel good. Obviously, it's a $30 VR, but at the most, you might go down to $25 or something like that. And saving a $20 bill, while it might be nice, I'd rather have the security and the peace of mind that I have the card in my pocket.
For sure, and I'm sorry, I'd like to make an edit. The grade is $48 now, so now he's a nice $50 bill, and you can pick up a play-doll mechanic with the difference.
Fantastic.
Speaking of things you can't pick up with $2.50, Sable Dragonoots are $13.
Jeez.
That's a huge triple R.
Yeah, the value in Kagero in this set is absolutely absurd.
It was nuts. What on God's green earth is going on?
People like their dragons.
For that one guy who listened to John Jaden, good for you. I hope you made your money, sir. And that is all for this week of Standard. Keith, what do you think? Because it seems like people are buy happy right now. It seems like people will just go on whatever. I mean, we do know the TCG market is small and easily manipulated, but it seems just like weird stuff is going on.
Yeah, it's flying in every direction right now, and usually that direction is upwards for a lot of cards. EBO6 is just absolutely crazy, whatever is going on. I think this is probably due to a limited supply of this set, because I cannot get over the fact that Daji is $47. That is far and away the most expensive VR that we've seen in any set. At any point, I don't even think Phantom Blaster Dragon got close to that, and he was a very popular VR in his own time period.
30 max, right?
Yeah, I think somewhere around there. So
these prices are huge.
Yeah, I think the popularity is coming up in Standard, and people are really just buying what they want to do.
Speaking of buying, we do have one more update. There was a buyout of Pentagonal Megas. It went up to 20 and is now currently slightly recovering at 16, but for one card coming out of VBTO3 spoiled so far that works really well with it, giving it an extra drive, I believe.
Yeah, that's right.
Then that's all we saw, and Pentagonal was like, give me this crappy card I didn't like at double its price. And that's about the state of Vanguard right now. The SVR is 22 if you're interested.
Okay, yeah, pretty solid.
But, ouch.
Yeah. All right. Well, as one final question before signing off, Ryan, what do you think is a good thing to invest in Standard right now with all of the prices flying the way they are? Is there anything you would say, that's my pick for what to go in, if I'm either looking to invest or looking to buy for a deck?
If I wanted to buy stuff for a deck that's coming up, buy all of the shadow cards that are cheap. Buy Machas, buy Swordbreaker especially, buy Maclears. Because even if you don't want to spring for Phantom Blaster Dragons or Gust Blasters or anything like that, as long as you have the support cards, the mains, those are $8. They're a little much.
Yeah.
The rest of the cards are like $5 or under. We're talking about, a TCG card of maybe $80, but still, you'll have saved yourself so much time and headache when those Shadow spoilers hit and you're like, well, now I really want to play this deck, and all the cards doubled in price.
Yeah.
I think Shadow Triple Rs, like the cards I mentioned, are probably going to go up.
Yeah.
Almost certainly.
Yeah, and I think even to your point, Ryan, the main, even though it's not the best investment in the world, the fact that it's $8, probably a little bit north of $8. Yeah, it is definitely going to go up, because that is, without a doubt, a 4 of the deck, and they have already shown consistently that they are supporting new 5k units in Shadow Paladin.
That they are. The promos are 5ks, They just keep making 5ks.
Yeah, Swordbreaker was an amazing 5k.
Yep,
so
that's true. And how are you going to beat that?
Yeah.
How are you going to beat turn to main sideways, make card draw?
Yeah, that's an easy +2 to your field.
So easy.
And or hand, I guess. So yeah, I think any Shadows unit right now is a slam dunk buy.
I would do that. Buy a lot of one, or just buy 4 of them all if you're trying to play them. I would do that right now. Now is the time to get into Shadows, because there's a surprisingly little amount of hype around it right now, and all of a sudden it's going to happen like lightning.
Oh, it is. It's going to be
like
nothing.
Narukami.
Yeah, that's right. I see your nice dragon pun right there.
Oh, yes, of course. I do my best. Kate, do you have any advice for the people out there?
Sell
Narukami right now. Gallopusters gonna suck.
That's honestly not a terrible play. If you do not want to play Narukami in the upcoming set, the fact that Rising Phoenix is a $6 card, Gold is an $8 card, Stinger and Drill are both going up. You can actually
get a $200 deck.
Yeah, really easily, and that's a pretty penny for.
Just throw it out the window for $160 right now.
Yeah, that's right. So I think not in the buying sense, but I think in the selling sense, I would move my Narukami deck if I was not considering playing it for Gauntlet Buster or whatever else reason.
Now's the chance to get yourself something new, shiny, and interesting.
Yeah, exactly. Use it to buy Shadows, apparently.
Ooh, what a novel idea, just buying Shadow Paladins. Well, that's our show. Thank you very much for joining us. This has been the Doombringer Griffin.
And the Irish God.
Please check out the Magic Satchel, as always, and we'll see you next week. Peace.